guys, welcome to the Something About Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Phebe Joi. Join me every other Tuesday for a lighthearted podcast to keep you company while you do your thing. Hey guys, welcome back to Something About Tuesdays, episode 63. I'm your host, Phebe Joi, and hi, hey, and welcome. Hi, everybody. I hope your last couple weeks have been good. Mine have been good overall. Look, y'all, these last couple weeks have been up and down, and I might get into it. I think I might get into it a little later and be like, y'all, let me just go ahead and be real with you. But before we get into the drama of the last couple weeks, hi, you guys. It is August. I can't believe it's August for one. I have been in school for one day at least. I'm recording this on the Saturday before this comes out. I went to work yesterday with my mom to help get my little corner of the classroom ready. So I did already kind of go to work. I talked to my AP and my principal, and I talked to them about my current status, and hopefully about some modifications that we can make with my position this year, with hopefully the amount of time I'm going to be there. And so I was able to talk to them. They were both just so warm and receptive, and like, oh my goodness, we're so happy for you. And, we are, whatever you need, just let us know. And so that was really good. And then it was good, you guys, it was just good to be out of the house. Oh my goodness. Because I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit. So part of, um, this pregnancy so far has been concerns with things. And so with those concerns, I've had to kind of be on like semi bed rest. Yeah, not full bed rest. Though if you would talk to my mom, she would say otherwise. But on semi bed rest, which is mostly bed rest. Just for the last couple of weeks to get before, getting some things in place. And I won't be on bed rest. I will be starting work on Monday, and I'm hoping I can work all the way through December, um, and then have my baby in January. But we'll have to see, you guys. I mean, it's kind of one of those, like, hopefully everything just goes uphill. If things continue as they have in the last couple weeks, y'all, I will be on bed rest before you know it. And I'm like, no, because these last couple weeks of just even like this bed rest where pretty much I've just been in my house. So I wouldn't say trapped to my bed, but trapped to my house, like bed, couch, recliner, things like that. Oh, y'all, as a social person, I'm an extrovert. Really, I am. I love being around people. I get energy from people. I am enthusiastic around people. I really love being around people I like. I can handle being around people I don't like. It's just one of those, I like people. And so when I feel like stuck at home, especially since I've been stuck at home all summer, y'all. Um, and then to add to it, so I'm stuck at home, and then I'm stuck at home, worried about my kid, right? I'm like, okay, what you guys, I mean, y'all would know the natural worries that would come based off last year. And so it's one of those, like, it's a constant struggle up and down. It's a juggle, I would say, not a struggle, but a juggle of all the emotions and feelings. And then it's just me, just there. My husband's working. It's great, he's working, but I'm like, huh, it's just me. My mom comes over a lot, and I love it when she comes over, but then she has to go home too. So then I'm just like, I'm okay. But y'all, I will say I have totally been into online services and things, which I'm gonna also talk about in NAYC, because that was awesome. I mean, y'all, I was an online person, and it was awesome. And I don't know if I felt like it was awesome this year because I had, like, it was my only source of entertainment. It was like the only thing, like, real life people, as close as I can get, or if it really was as amazing as it seemed. Because I've been to several NAYCs, but for whatever reason, I felt like that one was just phenomenal. From the music to the preaching, phenomenal. Loved it. Loved every moment of it. It was awesome. But anyway, so we'll get into that as well. But not to, y'all, I don't mean to start episodes as like, y'all, my life, but y'all, it's been my life. So part of, and y'all know this, you can just picture, you're at home, you're chilling, you don't got much to do. And so you just go back and forth. For me, it's been Facebook Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then randomly throw in Shein. Shein, you guys, I have bought, let's see, so far, because I haven't been shopping in the stores. Okay. I've been to the only stores I've been to all summer. I've been to Ross twice. Twice. That was it this whole summer. And I did that within like a day of each other. And then on my other shopping, I think I've done three now, three Shein buys. One at the beginning of the summer. And then I did one like a couple weeks ago, which those like half of them came in, the other half I'm still waiting. And then I bought a couple more this week of the same thing. Like I was trying to get a different size. But you guys, when you're at home and you're just chilling and you're like, oh, let me look at this, and you kind of want new stuff, then you get stuff delivered to you. And that's part of your perk. And you're like, oh, look, I've got something today. Something's coming for me today. So I have bought a couple of things off Shein. Um, now I will say, I've bought things that I think are mostly obviously like maternity friendly. I have bought a couple maternity type stuff, but it's kind of weird because I don't know just how massive I'm gonna get. I have a feeling that I will grow to be quite large, and I'm okay with that for the most part. My mom was like, "Yeah, get ready." I was like, "Bring it on." Look, if it means I have my baby full term and everything is good, bring it on. I believe in myself. I can get myself back together if needed. After that, I will do what I have to do. But um, yeah, so I've started buying some clothes in that aspect. But you guys, with that, and this is gonna be y'all, this is gonna be an episode. I'll go ahead and let y'all know that you're gonna hear, because I gotta be real with you, right? But you're gonna hear both sides of the feelings when it comes to being pregnant right now, right? You're gonna hear the like I'm excited about this, and you're gonna hear, you guys, I still haven't worn my shirt that says, blessed mom that I bought, I don't know, 4 months ago because I'm just nervous, right? And I shouldn't be nervous, but I'm like, I don't, when can I wear this shirt? I want to wear it, but it's just y'all know it's just my thoughts, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know. So I can't wait to wear it. I will wear it hopefully sometime in the next month. I will bring it out and just wear it and just wear the thing. Um, but yeah, so things like that, like even shopping for stuff, like I, it's, I'm like, it's too early. Let's give it time. But I want to have faith, right? I want to believe we're gonna see it to the end. But I'm also like, but things don't always work out as we want. So y'all, just back and forthness and back and forthness. Um, but anywho, so I have bought quite a few things off Shein that I'm excited about, and that I think that I feel good. I'm like, to me it's like maternity wear, but nobody hopefully will see it that way. But then also like it doesn't have to be, so that kind of comforts that scared part of me too. It's kind of like, okay, this could work both ways. As the pregnancy progresses, this will still work, and if it doesn't, this will still work. That's where my brain is, just being real. So anyway, so that's been fun, buying stuff off Shein. The other thing, and I told my mom and dad this, I was like, okay, so you know that you've kind of reached a max level of, I don't know, social media and technology and digital stuff when you can literally go outside and sit on your deck and just stare at the sky. And I have done that a few times where I'm like, I have Facebooked and Instagrammed and YouTubed so much at this point that I can just sit on the back deck and just stare off into the sky and literally be okay. Like I feel like an older person who's like, let me just reflect on my life. I don't need any music. You guys, I had no music. Y'all know I love my music. No music, no podcast, nothing. I didn't take my book out there. I literally just there's been a couple times where I've just sat on the back deck and just stared and was like, okay, and like just breathe and just like embrace nature, from a distance, as y'all know I like to do, and was just like, okay, here I am, and talk to God. I will say those moments are good moments to talk to God, and they're very chill. I will say, like when I'm talking to God and that, like in those moments, it's not like I wouldn't call it praying. I mean, praying is talking to God. Okay, so it's kind of praying, but it's one of those. It's so relaxed. Like I'll say something to God, and I'll be like, if He wants to say something, I'm listening. But sometimes it's just like, God, the clouds are so pretty, and that's it. Like, and minutes will go by, and then I'm like, huh. Lord, I really like this. And that's like literally that's it. But it is praying in a sense. I do feel like I'm talking to him, acknowledging him. It's that whole kind of praying without ceasing thing. Like we can't always be in deep prayer. And I'll admit to you guys, I have been struggling with deep prayer lately. I feel like my prayers have been so shallow. Because I mean, several reasons. My brain is like, whoa, but another thing is like the general uncomfortableness. Y'all, this is literally just the physical uncomfortableness of this pregnancy. It's been really hard to concentrate and really hard like for me to get like in the zone, I guess. And so I've been struggling to get in that like deep intercessory type prayer. Um, Honestly, this last little bit. And so I try to, knowing that that's kind of, I'm weak in that right now and in this season, I take advantage of those smaller moments then. You know what? If I can't get that deep, I'm not going to just not try, right? I'm not just going to be like, oh, I'm just not going to pray at all because when I do pray, I feel like throwing up because my body, right? No, I like, you know what? Even when I'm sitting outside, then I will be like, hey, God, it's me, queasy little me, the girl whose brain is fried, me, here I am. And live in those moments and embrace those moments, knowing that God's there in those moments too. And so it's been like a challenge, not being to not, I guess, going as deep as I want and having the time. That's the other thing. I'm like, I have all the time in the world right now because I'm, on break. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. But I feel so queasy, y'all. That's been my like number one symptom is nausea, just pure nausea. That has been so hard to concentrate. And I've been like, God, is this what people who like deal with chronic like illness or pain deal with? Because this stinks. I was like, this is really hard to like to deal with. I was like, I'm trying to like read my Bible, but then I'm like, I can't focus. Like I'm like, oh, I just want to go lay down or I just want to do this. And I was like, and I'm trying to pray, and I'm like, oh, but I just want to. And I was like, man, to push through it. They call it a sacrifice of praise for a reason, but like it's a challenge. I was like, new empathy and sympathy for all the people who deal with long-term things, like I know this will pass. I pray it'll pass. I know this will pass, and there's good at the end of this. And so that is what helps me, get through the seasons. Like, okay, I will get back to, feeling, deeper in my prayers, being able to focus more, being able to get on my knees and pray again, type things. I know that's still coming, but like I can imagine if this was like a long-term thing, like if I was constantly sick and just had to battle that. Because that's a real thing. That's a real thing to have to battle is that physical side that like keeps you from wanting to or keeps you from going as deep as you want to go, right? And that's kind of like a new thing for me. Anyway, as you guys can hear, like I'm talking through it with you guys, it's kind of like a new thing. But it is what it is, and I'm trusting the Lord to get me through this season as well. But okay, so then so speaking of, and you guys, this is not going to turn into a pregnancy podcast by any means. This is it's a big part of my life, so it's what you're going to hear, and it's currently like all that's going on in my life. But as school picks up, and hopefully as other things pick up, I'll tell more stuff. Or this could be it. You guys might be, this might be, y'all just be here for the journey. I have no idea. We'll see how life continues to go. But I will say so. I'm going to talk about what's been on my algorithm, and I like 100% contribute at least 90% that this is on my algorithm because I am pregnant. Of course, there's all the like baby stuff and things like that, and that's fine. I'm like, okay, yeah, baby stuff, sure. I'm not into it yet because I have my fears, but I'm glad that they're there. But what I've been into and what's been terrible, and I've mentioned this before, I think, is food. Food is all over my algorithm, and in ways that I didn't even realize there was like stuff for. And let me explain my thinking or explain. So, one of the things that's been on my like Facebook algorithm, I don't even know how it's gotten there, is I have, and y'all, it takes one click. I know how it got there, but I've been watching what are those videos? Oh, the videos of people who are like in contest to eat a bunch of food. Yeah, yeah. Like, ooh, look at this 5 pounds of spaghetti. Watch this girl, this tiny girl, eat this 5 pounds of spaghetti. And y'all, I'm fascinated. I'm watching it, fascinated. And then, of course, I have to watch another one. Like, watch her eat 12 burgers. Watch this person eat this big old pizza. Y'all, I have seen, I kid you not, probably, I don't know, 15 to 20 of these videos. And I've been clicking on them out of my boredom. I've been like, this is kind of interesting. Out of my appreciation for food, I will say that is a symptom of this pregnancy that has, I mean, y'all know I like food regardless, but yeah, it has still come to my attention. It's one of the things that I kind of enjoy right now. The other aspects of pregnancy I really haven't enjoyed yet, but the food, I do like eating the food and having the reason to eat the food, y'all. That's the real thing. It's like, I gotta eat this. I'm pregnant. I'm eating for two, right? Who cares that it's like just a couple inches big, but I gotta give it some sustenance. Um, but anyway, so have been watching those, and I've watched this one girl, this specific lady. I think she's an Asian lady. Um, and she's just been fascinating to watch. I'm just like, wow, like, man, she really got that food down. And so that's been part of my algorithm, but that's not it. It isn't just people shoving down food, even though that's been interesting. The other thing is recipes, recipes galore. You guys on Instagram, I've started following. I never follow people on my Instagram. I just, for the most part, if I do, it's like clothing places, things like that. But like influencers, I don't really follow in there, y'all. I have followed, I think, three like chefs in the last month or so that I just like watching them cook, and I'm like, I'm gonna make that, and I'm like, I'm gonna make that, I'm gonna make that. Now, have I ever made any of these things? Not yet. But do I plan to? Yes, most definitely. Maybe. Actually, the other day, with the help of my mother, we did make these zucchini fries that I saw a recipe for on Pinterest that I wanted to try. But anyway, so I mean recipes galore. Have you guys watched these chefs cook? And it's so much fun. They're like, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that, and you whip it together and voila. And and I'll eat this bite. Here's my bite, here's your bite. That's one of the girls I follow or something. And it's just I'm impressed. I'm impressed, thoroughly impressed, and I'm motivated. I'm like, I want to cook and I want to eat all this stuff so bad. Um, and it just looks amazing. Well, you know what? That's not it. That's not the only food thing that I've been seeing. So we've got the contest, we've got the chefs. The other thing is I've been seeing what I eat in a day, what I eat in a day as a this, what I eat in a day as a that. My 9 to 5 meals, y'all, people just showing what they eat every day. I don't know why. Their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner. They're like, it's just them eating. And I hate the sound of eating and chewing. So I'm surprised I'm watching this, but you don't hear them because they got like music and voiceovers and stuff in the background. But you would think I'd be triggered by watching them eat. But I am so fascinated with the food, and I'm like, oh, that sounds good, actually. Like, oh yeah, the McDonald's, the McWrap thing sounds good. I had one, y'all. It was not that great. Like, oh yeah, I think I do want to try that. Yeah, that pizza looks amazing. You guys, I have been, y'all, watching what people eat. They're 9 to 5. What is this, right? Like, what is going on? And so yeah, it's been food in all kinds of aspects of food. And it kills me. And what's so funny is in the last few days, this has been new. I don't know what word I said. I don't know what triggered it. But the other thing I've now seen are ads for like people with diabetes. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Now, where is this coming from? Because I right now don't have to deal with that. So I'm like, what is this? So it's food and diabetes. That's what's on my algorithm. So anywho, yeah, that's been me. That's been these last couple weeks. And I will say, so I like food. Um, you've kind of heard me mention and say that my biggest kind of symptom that I've had is nausea. I still have it some. It's not as bad as it was. I'm, entering into right now, I'm 14 weeks. I'm just entering into my second trimester. So these symptoms should be kind of lessening. Um, but what I found and what I'm finding is that I really want to eat, but then I'm like super nauseous. But then when I'm nauseous, I want to eat. So then I eat. And while I eat, the food, amazing. I can taste all the flavors. I love big flavors. Like give me the spice, give me the heat, give me the intense flavors. But I also like the vegetable flavor. Like I just give me flavor. That's kind of like what I want. Like I want something to taste good. Don't give me this light flavor. Don't give me that. Give me something good. And I love it when I eat it. But then afterward, I just feel so bloated and nasty and gross and just like blah, like immediately afterward. So it's one of those like up down things. I'm thinking that's just gonna be a thing. But it's like, I love food. Food is amazing. I want it so bad. I love it when I eat it. And then I'm like, what did I do? It's just been a thing. It tastes good when I eat it, and then it's terrible. But anyway, so a couple of weeks ago, one of the things that, and I wrote this down because I was excited about something. I was excited and nervous. Um, our church was hosting like a district, or our section, what do we call it? Ladies conference, kind of like a conference. And so I was going to have the opportunity to be able to sing a song, lead a song and open up the service. And you guys, I was so excited about it. And for a little while, I was nervous, right? Like nerves come into it. But then I was talking to one of my besties, Jess, and she made this comment that I like just like stuck with me. And she was like, like we were talking about, I don't know how it came about. We were talking about like just have fun. Like how much does God just want us to just enjoy and have fun in the things that he's allowing us to do, or that he's called us to do, or that he's given us the opportunity to do, right? I'm over here like I was nervous. I was like, what if I do terrible? What if I stumble over my words? What if thinking about all the things and telling God like, no, like about all this stuff. And what if God's like, I mean, yeah, all those things could be there, but I just want you to have fun. Like, I want you to enjoy working in my kingdom. I want you to enjoy, the things like what I know you are good at and what you can do. And I believe that you can do it. And I want you to enjoy doing it. And I don't want you to be scared of this. Like, I believe in you. Like, I want you to have fun with this. And I was like, you know what? That's good. Like, sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to do so well and to do so good that it's no longer fun. And then God's like, well, I didn't do this so you'd be sad, mad, or upset. I did this so you would have fun, so you would enjoy life. And I know one thing my pastor's wife has been talking about, or has been mentioning a bit lately, is kind of just enjoying the journey, because we put so much, I think, burden and pressure on ourselves, and that we forget that this is something that should be fun. This is something we should enjoy. Life is something that should be enjoyed, right? Um, and and that's it. And God wants us to enjoy it. And so obviously not every aspect of life is enjoyable, but those things that are or could be, lean on the enjoyable side, right? And so I was like, okay, God, and I was really excited about being able to sing. But then yeah, that was the night I went to the ED. And so that didn't happen. But that did help me leading up to then to not be as nervous and not put as much pressure on myself, and to just be a little more like okay, God, we can do this. And I will say, y'all, that's been my mantra right now throughout this whole pregnancy, has been, we can do this. When things are like freaking me out, because few things have happened that's freaked me out, I've been like, you know what, we can do this. And I'm talking to God. I'm like, we can do this. And I said, we being you doing the work and me believing in you. That's what I say. I was like, because God, I can't control none of this. I was like, so we can do this with you doing the work and me believing in you. And I feel like that's our little thing. Um, but yeah, like we can do this, and we can make it good, and we can make it fun. And I think God wants us to do that and to enjoy life. Um, and it's kind of like enjoy like it's like, especially when it's something that maybe does take you out of your comfort zone. Like for me, opening up a service, speaking, it was a little outside my comfort zone. It wasn't something that I didn't want to do. I think I was really excited about doing it, but I hadn't really done it before, so I was like, okay, like this would be great. And so I look at it like and like enjoying like the privilege of doing hard things, right? Like enjoying, or at least appreciating, maybe is the word I'm looking for. Appreciating, enjoying, because I do want us to have fun with this, but enjoying or appreciating the privilege of hard things, because you won't really be asked or called to do something hard, unless I think you're qualified or skilled enough to do it. And if people notice that, then that's a privilege, right? Like if you get a promotion, it's going to be a little harder. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone, but there's a privilege to that because you've proved something, you've done something. And that's the part I think that we can lean into a little more, enjoy a little more. Like, you know what? Even though I'm nervous, not everybody has this opportunity. So I'm going to enjoy it. Like, why would I be miserable doing this or scared out of my mind doing this when I have an opportunity here? Um, And that's kind of like my perspective with that. And that's even y'all. I've been trying to apply it to like even this whole pregnancy and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm doing a hard thing for me. For some people, pregnancy's a breeze. They don't even think twice about it. But for me and for my body, this is a hard thing, right? But if it is a privilege though for me to go through this hard thing, because at the end of this, there should be something good, you know? At the end of this, there's hopefully a new life, I have family, and so I have this privilege to go through this hard thing. Then I was thinking about, well, I went through this hard thing last year and it ended terrible, right? Like, what? My kid died. Like, what's that about? And I was like, yeah, but even that hard thing was a privilege. And and what I mean by that is that like not everybody fortunately has to go through losing a child, right? And that's great. Um, but those that do, I think there's something, I think a special kind of relationship with God that you get when you've gone through that. And that part is the privilege. That part is I get to know God in a way that someone who's never lost a child will ever get to know him, right? They get to know him in a different way. Other people get, that's like whatever that thing is for you. Like there are some things in my life that fortunately, blessedly, I don't have to deal with. It's not in my story, it's not in my life. But one thing I did have to deal with is losing a kid, right? And so while that's a terrible thing, I was able to walk through that with God and get something out of it, get a relationship with him, get to know him in a way that someone who's never lost a child, never been through loss like that, will ever get from God. Right? And so I was like, okay, that part is like, okay, I'm special in that sense. Now, does that make me special over all God's children? No, but I think everybody has that thing that whatever it may be, because everybody has their problems, right? Literally everybody has their problems. But whatever problem you have, like you have the opportunity to get to know God in that way that maybe other people don't, right? And even people who've gone through similar, it's not going to be the exact same ever. So there's so much of God and so much deepness in God that part of like us dealing with things and having problems that are different from each other, it really makes our relationship with God that much more special, that much more unique. I hope I'm making sense. I'm just kind of just talking through it with you guys, but yeah, like that's kind of the thing is that's it's a privilege to get to know God in that way, even if it's in ways that we didn't want or expect or hated to have to go through. There there is something from it, right? There's that something getting to know God in a way that maybe other people haven't had that chance. And I don't wish that chance on anybody, right? I don't want people to get to know God that way, but if you have gone through it, then there's amazing opportunity there to really know God in a way that other people cannot. And so I just said all that to say, enjoying the privilege of hard things. Now, I will have to say, it is a tough balance, especially for me. Right now I'm trying to give myself the grace and understanding of my fears and things while also like pushing through and trying to believe for the best, right? There's always that balance of like that what we consider faith. Like, oh my gosh, like, do I have the faith to believe this will happen? But if it doesn't happen, da 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 da. And so there is that. But that's the enjoying, like trying to figure out to enjoy the privilege of hard things. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, when I figure out exactly how to enjoy the privilege of hard things, like really good, like systems and stuff, y'all, I'm gonna write a book about that. But in the meantime, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still working on it. Y'all know, like I'll be real with you, like I do not have it all figured out, especially when it comes to, the back and forth of emotions and feelings and stuff. Um, but I do think that's something that maybe God's working with me on and trying to teach me how to do, which is so silly. Like you'd think, God's trying to teach me how to enjoy life. Yes. But also how to enjoy life even when it's hard, because life is a lot of times hard. And, man, I just feel like it just doesn't get talked about enough. Suffering, pain, sadness, we want to stray away from it so much. It doesn't get talked about enough. But it's something that literally everybody goes through. So it's amazing that we don't talk about it because we all go through it, right? But anywho, so anyway, I just throwing that out there. Like I said, once I really figure that out, I'm gonna write a book on that. I'll let y'all know when it comes out. And you can be like, I heard it first. But anyway, so in the last couple weeks, and um, I've like I've already kind of told you guys I went to the emergency room and everything ended up being okay. But while I was in the hospital, I don't remember if I mentioned this last time or not, but I wanted to throw out there that because I think, did I go back in one more time? I can't remember. No, I think it was just the one time. Y'all, I don't know. That's how many doctor's appointments and stuff. I'm like, wait, how many times did I see the doctor in the hospital and stuff like that? Um, I will say one thing that's great, and they got this down pat. They may not have everything down pat, but they do have this. Warm blankets. Y'all, I love when they bring me that warm blanket. They're like, "Would you like a blanket?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they always bring two, and they're always warm. Now, are they the thinnest things? Yes. But do they actually kind of help? Yes. Like, and I love the fact that they're warm. They could even be a little warmer, honestly. But I do appreciate hospitals and their warm blankets. So if you are a hospital person, employee, or whatever working and you're in charge of those warm blankets, a shout out to you, kudos to you. If you're the nurse who offered a warm blanket, thank you. We love it. That was just one thing that I wrote down that I really like that are those warm blankets. Okay, and speaking of, so giving shout outs to hospital people and staff and stuff like that. I have to give a shout out to doctors. And I have to say, if you have like an issue, like an ongoing issue, find you a doctor that you genuinely like and that you think genuinely likes you. Okay. I'm not saying that every doctor is going to know you by name and appreciate you for who you are because they are busy. There's a ton of them. But there are doctors out there who either they really do know you and care about you as an individual or they're really good at faking it. And either way, I don't care. I've, I, I think I can't remember if I mentioned, but I've been to couple of different hematologists and I finally got the one that I wanted. Love him to death, right? Very caring. But also my high risk uh, OB doctor, so my high risk maternal fetal medicine doctor, she love her to death too. Now she was one that I talked with last year after everything had happened, and she was so warm and caring and looked like she was about to cry with me. It was like our first time meeting, and she was like just as sad as I was, right? And I knew that I was like, okay, I want her to be my doctor. And and when you're going through stuff, you really want a doctor who at least seems like they care a lot about you. And I say that because so this past week I had another scare. And so I called my doctor and she brought me in. And I was very, y'all, I'm one of those people. And I told her, when I sent the message, I was like, I don't want to be one of those people who are just constantly worried, constantly calling, constantly like, hey, I have this symptom. What is this? Hey, this is going on. What is that? I was like, I don't want to be one of those people. But this is something scary that's happening. And when she came into the office, the first thing she said was, she was like, "Oh, don't look at that like that." And that's because my face was like, "I'm so sorry, I'm here." She was like, I saw your message. You are not one of those people. First off, she's like, the fact that you care about being one of those people means you're not one of those people. But she was like, you are not one of those people, and you could not be one of those people. She said, to begin with, you do have reasons to be concerned. The things that you bring to me, they're genuine concerns. Like they are things that we do need to look at and take seriously. She goes, I've gotten, messages from people that are like, oh, this tiny little thing. And she's like, well, that's just normal. She's like, but the things you bring are serious. Like, don't feel bad. Like, you are not, it's not in your head, right? And then she was like, and the other thing is she was like, I am here for you. And she was like, you know, anything that you need, you let me know, you message me. And, as an OB person, they usually schedule your appointments every like 4 weeks or so, a couple weeks. And she was like, if you need to come in every week, once a week, for you to have peace of mind about this baby, then I will see you once a week. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's so, y'all. I mean, you know what I mean? And she's saying that because she knows my history. She's been here along for the ride. And I feel like she genuinely cares. This is a lady I've known less than a year, right? I just met her last November, and I think it was October. Yeah, last October. And yet already, she even just whether it's just as a doctor or however as a person, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be here for you and it's gonna be good. And like I'm gonna use my expertise for you. And so I love that. And I am saying if you don't have that as a doctor, get you one, okay? Get you a nice doctor that seems to genuinely care about you. And also, like, if you, and don't be afraid to go to somebody else. I was like, when I was switching hematologists, I was so nervous. I really didn't like my first one. So I was like, I don't know if I want to switch or if I can switch. But I was like, I don't like them enough to, I'm definitely gonna try. And I was so glad when I did, right? It worked out. And so, I love my hematologist. I love my high risk doctor. I feel like we're all, gonna work together, hopefully as best we can. But yeah, so shout out to medical professionals who make their patients feel like they genuinely care. Like it is so appreciated. I appreciate my doctor. Um, I appreciate that she, is like takes what I say seriously. And y'all, that's another thing. You need somebody who'll take you seriously, who's not gonna just write you off. Yeah, so shout out to the doctors and the nurses and all the in the medical people, all the medical people, the front desk people, the appointment people. It's so nice when people are just kind and polite. And y'all, you can take that into any field, y'all know. But especially with them, I definitely appreciated that. But anywho, I will be almost wrapping up. I've got a few more things that I want to share with you all. Um, and so that is, and you guys are like, what? It's only 30 minutes. And I know, y'all, I can't sit in this same spot for too long. But I wanted to share with you guys. So I mentioned earlier NAYC, which is North American Youth Congress. And this is a youth conference that happens every 2 years, hosted by the United Pentecostal Church International. UBCI, that's what organization I'm part of. And they have it every year. It's for the young people, I think young youth group age and hyphen age, so 12 to, I don't know, 30. With, obviously other people can come too, but that's who the target audience is, right? And so this year, y'all, I was like having absolutely nothing to do with myself other than just sitting there watching stuff. I was like, I am going to tune into the NAYC, the like all the live streams, and I am so glad I did. You all, okay, so Wednesday night was the first night. The youth president guy spoke, DJ Hill. He did great. He was very like, I mean, I think he set the tone for the conference, which was just great. Like, this is going to be a good life-changing conference. This is what we're here for. Like, let's do this, students in hyphen, right? Set the tone. It was amazing. Music was phenomenal, phenomenal. But we're going to talk about music here in a minute. And that was really good. And then Thursday morning. So the message that I want to talk about Thursday, or the big thing I want to talk about with NAYC was the Thursday morning message. And that is because you guys, it spoke to me so much. And I'm thinking, so y'all know, I'm like, okay, I haven't announced on Facebook about my pregnancy yet. I still haven't. I plan to, I guess, the next couple weeks. I just haven't figured out how I want to write it. But in thinking about how I want to write it, there's like three kind of things that I want to mention, I think, when I announce. I haven't fully decided yet. Y'all know, like I have to think about these things, write like several drafts, before I post it. But one of the things that I wanted to mention was this service that was that Thursday morning. And y'all just listen to the title. Okay, listen to the title and be like, oh, that's good enough. You know how I like my book, The Let Them Theory, and I'm like just saying let them is good enough for me. The title of this message was The Miracle of Resilience. I was like, that sounds like it's gonna be good. And it was good. And it spoke to me. There were so many great messages, but that's the one that spoke to me. And like I said, all of them were phenomenal. And I think everybody, depending which I mean, if you listen to all of them, you're gonna find something good in all of them, but I think you're gonna find one that really speaks to you. And for me, that was the one because he talked about the woman with the issue of blood, right? Which I'm like, oh look. I can connect to that, hematologist. And he was talking about how she had, you know, touched the hem of Jesus's garment and got her healing, instantly. She was healed. And he said that was a miracle. That's the miracle everybody talks about. That's the miracle everybody sees. But he was like, but the miracle was that for 12 years she suffered and yet she still showed up where God was. Like she still was there. For 12 years, she tried her best. For 12 years, she did everything she could. For 12 years, she dealt with disappointment. For 12 years, she dealt with failure. For 12 years, she dealt with pain and suffering and not good things, right? At the hands of everybody. And then she got her miracle, the one that everybody else talked about. But he was like, one of the, like a true miracle in that was that she made it through those 12 years, that she didn't give up, that she was resilient, that she was still there. And he was making the point, he was saying, as young people, you know, some of you have lived long enough now to know that bad things happen. And painful things happen and we can suffer. And he was like, but you're still here. And that in and of itself is a miracle. And I was like, man, I mean, that really spoke to me. And I was like, man, that's kind of how I feel like with this pregnancy and, hoping for the best, hoping for the miracle at the end of this, hoping for that precious baby to come, in January, January of 2026, Lord, please. But the other part of the miracle is that you know, I've been through some suffering and I've been through some pain and I've been through some ups and some downs, and I am still here. I still love Jesus. I'm still trying my best to pray through my nausea. He's still carrying me. And that in and of itself is a miracle. And he's going to carry me, through however long this takes, however long this journey is, whatever all of this is. That's the miracle is in the journey, right? And y'all, that just spoke to me. I was like, amen. Because once again, y'all know, I always say, we don't talk enough about suffering and how everybody has some type of suffering and pain at some point in their lives. Not at every point. Obviously, there's seasons. Like if you're in an amazing season, please enjoy this amazing seasoning. No, y'all, I told you food was on my mind. No, please enjoy this amazing season. Like, because I plan to, okay? When I get out of this season of like ups and downs and fears and sadness, I plan to enjoy my season of happiness and greatness and joy. I don't know exactly what point that season's gonna come, but when it comes, I'm here for it, okay? So please be there for it and don't be sad just because other people are sad, okay? I will say that. I mean, rejoice with those who are rejoicing, right? Weep with those who are weeping. But if you're rejoicing, rejoice, okay? I mean, I plan to. I totally plan to. And y'all need to rejoice with me when that time comes. But suffering happens a lot too. And so I'm just glad that he mentioned that and was like, and the thing is, and he mentioned it with time. I don't know if people know how long 12 years is, but 12 years is a long time. It's not like, oh, I just had a bad day. Oh, I just had a bad year. Y'all had a bad decade and then some, like, whew. And and that's kind of been my thing because this has been, years in the making. So much time has passed in my brain. And I just think like, wow, but she made it. She made it to the end. Um, and that was also a miracle. There was the miracle of her healing, but then there's the miracle of her resilience, and I just loved that. And so I was like, okay, I might have to mention that when I mention that I'm pregnant. Like, I might have to be like, you know what? Like, I want the miracle at the end. I want that baby. But I'm also very proud of the miracle of God bringing me to this point, and He'll take me the rest of the way. You know what I mean? Like, just love that. Anyway, so that was the Thursday service, right? And that was the Thursday morning. That was the morning. Mornings are supposed to be the ones that are just like, man, no, that was phenomenal. Loved it. So then there's the Thursday night service, which was really good. And then there was with Brother Jerry Jones, and he did phenomenal, of course. I was like, okay, let's see what Brother Jones got. He's an older preacher. Let's see what he got. Y'all, he brought it. I was like, okay, thank you, Brother Jones. He was talking about perspective and how our perspectives can change, and brought up a great analogy. He brought this really tall guy. He was like 6'7" or 6'8", and Brother Jerry Jones is kind of short. So he was like, from this regular perspective, it looks like this giant, this problem can overtake me. But then he like climbed on a ladder. He's like, but now my perspective has changed. The giant, the problem's still there, but my perspective has changed. And so I was like, okay, God, we got to change our perspective. So I was feeling that too. And then Friday morning, Brother Taylor Fish, this is the morning session. He talked about revival. He talked about uncommon pulpits, like just sharing the word everywhere, sharing, the gospel, sharing Jesus' love. I mean, that was in revival in ourselves. And he talked about like how we need to be praying more, reading our Bible more, taking basically our relationship with God more seriously. Because we distracted by a lot of things. And y'all, I know it because I've been living it. And so I was like, amen, Brother Fish. And then, of course, ended the night with Brother Joel Urshan. And I mean, he just took us back to the roots, to the core of who we are and how we need to share that. And it was phenomenal. And the music was phenomenal. It was so much fun. Of course, there was a little bit of shouting every night, some crying. But I think the biggest shout night was probably Friday, maybe Thursday. I think is that when they ran? I can't remember. It was so much fun, you guys. Even if you are not Pentecostal, go to YouTube. Like, even if you're not a religious person, let's say you're not really into religion, but you're just curious and you're like, okay, well, let me just see. Y'all go look at, I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It'll be fun. But even if whatever, but if you are religious, even if not Pentecostal, go look anyway. So go to the UPCI Youth Ministries, I think, on YouTube. Check out any of the videos. They're so much fun. They're so good, for the worship and music and everything. For the preaching, if you want to listen to the preaching, it was good. But even if you just want to enjoy good music, listen to that. They had an Afterburner concert. Let me tell you all about that. Okay, so they had an Afterburner concert that Friday night. Once again, I wasn't there. Y'all, look, I am talking like I was there the whole time. Yo, this is how invested I was, okay? When you're at home, I'm telling you, you become invested in these things. This is how invested I was. So I was not there, but I tell you what, I know everything that happened, okay? I even watched, they had these behind the scenes, each day behind the scenes, like with the tech people, with like the lighting and, it was like the lighting people, it was the sound people, it was like the photography and the videography. And y'all, I thought that was so cool. I didn't know a thing about what it was about, but it was cool to see and to see like all the work that goes into it. I was like, oh my goodness, like that's, y'all, to plan a big conference like that, that is huge. That's a big deal. But it was great. But okay, back to the concert. So I watched the concert online, and everybody, there was like five different groups. Everybody killed it. But y'all, there was one group that stood out to me. And so this is the video I want you to watch, whether you are Pentecostal or not. Okay. Go to the UBSI Youth Ministries page. Go to the Afterburner. It is their concert. Go to minute 41, 41.00. Okay. That is when there was a Hispanic team. So they spoke Spanish team that that started singing and led worship for like like a medley of songs. Y'all, they did so good. And y'all know I love my Spanish speaking stuff. Like because I'm, still trying to very loosely. Y'all, this whole summer I could have been trying to learn me some Spanish. Anyway, I loved, they did phenomenal. So the guy, well, okay, to start with, they start with like, they transition from the other group into their group, and they have the synth, I guess the keyboard is doing like the horn sound, the okay, I can't do it right, but just go listen to it, and it sounds like, oh, like a Spanish cry, like we're about to hit this culture, and I was there for it. I was like, this is gonna be good. And y'all, they did not disappoint. It was amazing. They did some of it in English, most of it in Spanish. Y'all, I couldn't understand all of it. I did pick out some words. I was very proud of the words I picked, but it did not matter. I mean, it was spirit led. It was beautiful worship. The guy's voice, he has kind of like the old school Spanish voice, like I don't know how to describe it, but like traditional Spanish voice. I don't know because I don't know what traditional Spanish voice would be, but it sounded very traditional, but so good with the contemporary mix of the voices of his background singers. Y'all, they did so good. So started the 40. Of course, watch the whole vid if you just want a nice worship session for about an hour. But if you're like crunched on time, but you ready to feel hype. This is hype, okay? Go to minute 41. Go to 41 minutes and just enjoy. Y'all, I loved it. I've listened to it like five times already, like just that part. I'll go to my minute 41 and just be like, here I am. Like, oh, love it. They did so well. So anyway, so NAYC 2025 was good. Those who got to go, I know you enjoyed it. I know it was good. I wish I could be there, but at the same time, y'all, I mean, it was so good. The people who did like the tech stuff, shout out to them. They did phenomenal. Like everything sounded amazing via the live stream. So I was very surprised to hear that and to see that, but it sounded amazing via the live stream. But anyway, so that was really awesome, really good. And I would encourage anybody that if you are like I like to throw out to anybody, if you are somebody who are or not religious, somebody who loves God or don't, go check it out anyway. I think you'll get more out of it if you do love God. But if you are, like I said, just curious, go check it out because you might find something that really interests you. But anyway, and then the last thing that I want to throw out there is, so I wanted to talk to you guys because I said I was going to talk with this through with you guys, is my pregnancy announcement, my Facebook one, right? So I already told you guys I was thinking about mentioning the sermon because I feel like that's part of my story, right? Like it's so odd for me to think about sharing another announcement because the last one I shared because I really thought I was going to have my baby. I really thought that was going to be my miracle. I really thought God's going to do this and this is going to be a testimony. And so when I had her early and it wasn't, how hoped or expected and definitely didn't want to have to write another message and be like, hey guys, I know I said my miracle baby was coming, but actually she's not, like she came and she's, and she's like that part of it. It's just so like, I don't know why or how it feels embarrassing. It shouldn't. Things like that shouldn't feel embarrassing, but it's kind of like, oh, it's almost like when you're so excited about something and then you almost feel the fool. You're like, ah, okay. My bad. Like, sorry guys, I got you guys excited for nothing. And so that's something that I wrestle with and I mentioned it a bit last week, while I was kind of nervous to even say it on there. Because, who wants to go back and be like, okay, I was having a baby, now I'm not. Well, no, you're having a baby, but now you're losing a baby, right? It's two different things. Like you can totally share that you're having a baby because that's joyful. And if you lose the baby, that's sad. That doesn't mean it retracts from the fact that you were gonna have a baby, right? And that's things that my brain knows but still kind of struggles with. So thinking about this post, I'm just very like, I don't know what I want to write. So I thought about writing about the resilience. The other thing that I wanted to do was share a picture that I created on ChatGPT. And I can't remember if I expressed this on the podcast or not, but I asked it to create an image a couple months ago of when I was like just finding out I could be pregnant again and um, of an image of what I would look like kind of like as the mom that I feel like I am. So I'm the mom of 3 kids in heaven and 1 in my belly, right? And so I was like, I gave it a prompt and it gave me a picture. And I thought about sharing that because I love the picture. It's a picture of this lady, and she's got 3 like toddler sized infants, like 2 infants and maybe like a toddler, baby like children in her arms, and they all have halos, and then her tummy has like she's got a big belly, so she's pregnant. And it's like, that's how I view myself as a mother. Like, if I look in the mirror right now, there's just me in my bump. Now I have a little bump. Actually, it's not little, but it's not the baby. It's just my tummy. But so that's what I see, right? I see me in my bump. But really, like when I think about it, I'm like, okay, there's me in my bump, and then there's my 3 kids in heaven that didn't make it, right? The 3 times that I've been pregnant before, I've been pregnant as far as I know, just 3 times before, and those are the ones that I've miscarried. And so but they were my babies, right? And so like seeing that image to me was just like, I am a mom and just to kids in heaven, right? And like I like to look at the picture and be like, man, that is me. It doesn't feel like me sometimes. I'm very empty-handed, but I'm like, but it is me. I have done something, like I do have a family. We're just not all here. And so I just love that. So I thought about sharing that too on there. And then the other thing I was going to share, and this is a little more uplifting. If that was sad, I'm so sorry. But the last thing I was going to share was actually my song segment. And that was, so I've been listening to the song, If Not For Your Grace, by Israel Houghton. And it's a good one. If y'all look, okay, if you don't want to look up nothing else, look up If Not For Your Grace, Israel Houghton. It's an oldie but a goodie. And it's just, I mean, you talk about grace for every season, and that's why I feel like God's given me grace for every season. And I need his grace in this season, y'all know, with my ups and downs and my brain and all that stuff. But he's given me grace for past seasons. He's given me grace for this season. And I like it because the words say grace that restores, grace that redeems, grace that releases me to worship, and also says miracles, grace that repairs visions and dreams. And I love that because I'm like, sometimes your dreams get a little broken, and and what you thought gets a little shattered. And I like it, but it's like grace that repairs and restores and redeems, repairs those dreams, restores things to you, redeems what was lost. Like y'all, those things have been like hitting me, and I'm like, okay, God, So anyway, so I thought about throwing that in there with my post too. I'm trying not to have like this really long Facebook post because people won't read it. They'll be like, okay, all this for what? But I'm thinking about some way to put all that together. We will see. We will see what I come up with. Whatever I come up with, I'll let y'all know. But I will throw that out there. That is my music segment. That is, just kind of where I am with that. So yeah. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, so I am gonna wrap this up here. I want to say thank you guys so much for listening, especially knowing that like you are getting the news from someone who's just been at home for 2 weeks. So I'm sure it is not quite as, invigorating of an episode. But I do hope that you still enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed recording it and still sharing with you guys my thoughts and things. So yeah, I hope y'all have an amazing next couple of weeks. I'll keep y'all posted in the next couple of weeks if I post something or not. I might be like, y'all are the only ones who know. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah. So thank y'all so much for listening. Yeah, and I'll catch y'all in a couple of weeks.